Leanne Dalzell.
Unfortunately, the Minister didn't answer the question that I asked, which is, will the government put on the record that they intend to regulate to allow for the Securities Commission to have authorised financial advisors in the mortgage broking space? Because that's the question we've been asked, and I would really like the Minister to put that on the record, because I assume that the answer is yes, that you are writing in a regulation-making power so that regulations will be passed. But you know, I honestly think that we've had such a good process up until now that it would be a shame to ruin it by having people inadequately briefed for contributing to the committee stage debate. The second question that I asked wasn't answered at all, which was in relation to the question of regulating out or regulating in, unless the Minister was answering that by reference to some element of the supplementary order paper. But I tried to capture her attention by asking her which clause she was referring to, but I can't see which clause it was. So I think that if they've gone to if the marketing law people who represent these businesses have gone to the trouble of providing us with their concerns in writing, then I think they deserve to have an answer in the House. And the final point that I was coming to but was unable to address was this question about the binding rulings of the dispute resolution scheme, and it's in section 49D, or clause 49D of the bill. Now, I've gone through the supplementary order paper, and it looks as if the complainant has been taken out, so it's just the person responsible for the scheme that can apply to the district court to make an order requiring a member of the scheme to do either or both of the following, i.e. comply with the rules of the scheme or comply with the resolution of a complaint that constitutes a binding resolution under those rules. The point that was being made was that there was a concern that this conflicted with the Bill of Rights Act, because there were no mutuality of rights. Now, by taking out the complainant, has that resolved that problem, or does it actually make it worse? Because the question that we were being asked is, should you be able to apply for a review of the final settlement? So what I can't find is who has the ability to comply with a review of the final settlement, and has that had the provider of, no, sorry, not the provider of the scheme, but the FSP. Have they been given that particular authority to apply for review? And the trouble is you know, we've only just received this letter. I did think that we were going to get a bit more of a detailed response from the Minister and the Chair, agreeing to have the committee stages done in an across-the-board way enables us to focus on the different elements of this. It is the technical debate. It is where we try to make sure that we have got things right. If we don't get it right in this stage, and I don't really want it to, you know, run over into the lunch break, but once we move into the third reading, then we are going to end up not being able to fix things. And even though there's a regulation-making power, in order to resolve things that come up afterwards, it's going to not look very good if we haven't addressed these technical matters in the committee stages in the House, because these are the people that have gone to the trouble of providing us with some feedback post the report back of the bill. And it's not unreasonable that we put on record a response to the concerns that they have raised. And what the other thing that I would really like the Minister to address in her comments on behalf of the Minister of Commerce is that we certainly at all stages gave officials the ability to go back to the stakeholders and to get feedback from them. And what I really would have liked to have had in this technical part of the bill is, were there any other outstanding matters left with key stakeholders apart from the three that I've raised? Were there any other outstanding matters raised by those important stakeholders that we have engaged with in a very positive way, that have been addressed in the SOP? So were they issues that were raised by outside stakeholders that have been addressed? And are there any gaps? Are there any other things that were raised by major stakeholders? And I think that would assist the process of this bill.
Mr Chair.
I call Stuart Nash.